What is your Tyler's back with the retro reviews? Channel Tyler's retro reviews with. I can't believe it's been 15 years since this disaster happened. Victory Road 2011. You know what I said, at the end of last year, where I wanted to do like I did with WCW in the year 2000, where I want to do every TNA period from not only in 2006 but 2011. Yeah, I regret doing this. And we're in March already, and this is like the second of 2011 review I didn't done yet. This is an infamous pay-per-view for all the wrong reasons. So here we go. March 13th, it was in the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida. This was the last pay-per-view before lockdown. The go-home pay-per-view before lockdown. We'll talk about that one next month. It's church bells or something like that. But anyways. So, the premiere, the whole thing happened. So, what happened at Victory Road, or at Against the Lost, last month we did. Jeff Hardy won back the world title in the ladder match against Mr. Anderson. A really, really botchy ladder match, let's be honest with you. And on the March 3rd episode of Impact, the whole thing with 3-3-11 promo was shown a week prior, and then Sting was the one who was revealed to be all that because, I mean, they did this. TNA did this exact same thing that WWE did with Undertaker coming back for WrestleMania 27. The old 2/27/11, that was like on Monday Night Raw, and that was the whole thing to set up him and Triple H at WrestleMania 27 and all that. And Sting won the world title as well, like I said. So your first match back and you're the world champion right away. You think they would have saved it for here, but we'll get to that whole thing when we get to it. What else is happening around this time? Yeah. Let's get into this. There are a total of 8 matches. And yeah. Now, before we get to the WrestleMania reviews, the Ruthless Aggression era ones, which, which are 21, 22, and 23, y'all. So, we have one more, pit stop before it. And all that. But we're not there yet. Let's talk about Victory Road 2011 and get this shit show over with. Because this show was a fucking... It sucked! But anyways. With a Falls Count Anywhere match between Tommy Dreamer defeating Bully Ray. Okay, this was actually... You know what? This was actually a pretty fun Falls Count Anywhere match. Tommy Dreamer using a fucking minion doll, and Taz was like, what the hell is that? And all that. He confused it with SpongeBob or something, which was fucking hilarious and all that. Then a Devon comes out of nowhere and helps Dreamer won the match and all that, but this whole storyline just dropped because of what happened in the main event. We'll get to that when we get to the main event of this pay-per-view. Not there yet. We're not there yet. Yeah, I give it a 6.5 out of 10, It's a goofy hardcore match, but then again, those type of hardcore type matches, but still. And all that. Okay, that was one good match. What about the rest? Well, you'll be disappointed with the rest of this show. Not all of it, but we're not there about the infamous one. So we get for the Knockouts tag titles. Yeah, remember those? I completely forgot those belts even existed around this time here in 2011 because when was the last time those belts were relevant? Yeah. Rosie and Sarita, the future Selena Vega, by the way, defeats Angela Love and Winter in a. Yeah, this match sucked. And, yeah, I'm not going through this whole storyline. It's kind of fucking stupid, honestly. I give it a 1 out of 10. Anyways, then we get a first blood match. So between Hernandez defeating Matt Morgan. You thought. If you thought the Kevin Nash Sid Vicious match, the Powerbomb match from Starrcade in 1999 had a stupid finish where Nash told the referee, hey, I powerbombed him, even though he fucking lied. Well, this might be worse than that. Because Morgan was going to do his finisher, and then a random fan run from the barricade, and the referee stopped him. And that random fan, by the way, is, oh god, what the fuck is his name? It's not Homicide. It's, what the fuck was his name at this time? Nobody remembers this guy. Someone named... And my phone turned off. I'll get back to that. Oh, Anarchia, that's his name. Margie did a Ring of the Hog of him in 5 years prior to this. But anyways. So, Morgan hits Hernandez with a chain. He gets busted open. Or so he thought. Then Morgan spills fake blood on him. And then another referee comes in. Garrett Bishop, by the way. Looks at Hernandez, who is obviously bleeding. But looking at Matt Morgan, he saw Matt Morgan with the red on. He calls for the bell and has Hernandez won the match. This is the third fucking match, and I'm already saying, what the fuck am I watching? Just an horrible first blood match. A 0. And I'm like, oh great, this period's going downhill quickly. Anyways. Then we get the Ultimate X match for the X Division Championship. Kazarian defeats the Young Bucks. Oh great, it's them again. And Robbie A2 retained the X Division Championship. In a not the best Ultimate X match I ever seen, really. But yeah. And yeah, it was. You think of great Ultimate X matches, I think of the ones from like the 2000 and all that. From 05, 06. Last week I did Destination X 2006 and all that. But not here. Nobody remembers this Ultimate X match at all, really. So yeah, I give it a 6.5 out of 10, I'll give it. considering one, it is what it is. It has the fucking Young Bucks in them, and I don't know. I despise those two. Who? Anyways, and then if we for the TNA Tag Team Championships, Beer Money defeats the Man with Mohawks. That's a shout to Marky D, who every time I think of this, it's the Man with Mohawks. No, they're called Ink Ink, but no, they're called he calls them the Man with Mohawks because they have mohawks and all that. Yeah, decent tag team championship match, a 5 out of 10 and all that. And yeah. Anyways, then Asia shows defeats Matt Hardy. Ric Flair turned on Fortune and then stays with Immortal and all that, which... Again, why is Ric Flair here? He kept interfering in this match. Why the fuck did Ric Flair just eject him from ringside and all that? But, honestly, this was the best match of Victor 2011. It's like Victor 2009, where HOs had the best match on that show with Kevin Nash, and here he has the best match on this show with Matt Hardy. And all that. So yeah. 7.5 out of 10 I'll give it. Afterwards, Ric Flair gets punched in the family jewels by AJ Styles and all that. Then he... We'll get to Lethal Lockdown next month when we get to Lockdown, but throughout the show, Jeff Jarrett was with Karen and all that, and then throughout Universal Studios, it was pre-taped and all that, and we don't know what's led to the current match at Lockdown. We'll get to that. Which they're not on this show, or this period rather, but it's probably for the best, really. Then, this is for the number one contendership for the TNA Championship. Yeah. Between Mr. Anderson and Rob Van Dam. This was not good. I'm just being honest here. And we never got a proper finish because it ends in a double count out. This is a number one contenders match for a world title shot on a pay-per-view. Yeah. I give it a 4 out of 10. That's probably the worst rated Raw Van Dam match I ever give. There's zero chemistry between these two, and yeah, it was kind of a disappointing, really. And oh no, hell no. I think it's time we gotta talk about the main event. It is for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship and Sting and Jeff Hardy. We know about this whole incident right now. 15 years later, this is one of the biggest incidents in TNA history. Where the fuck do I begin with this matchup? First off, Jeff Hardy didn't show up until like way later on during this whole thing. And then you could tell something ain't right with Jeff Hardy. Sting comes out, gets a standing ovation like he always does. They do the ring introductions and all that. Fucking my nose, what the fuck, man? And then out comes the leader of the Grey Crew, Eric Bischoff. Okay. I gotta stop mentioning Marky D on these channels and all that, but I can't because he's so. But still, he comes out. This is the main event of the pay-per-view, by the way. And what led to, we'll get to that. Sting punches Eric Bischoff because, by the way, Bischoff made this make this a no disqualification match, and then Sting punches Bischoff and all that. Really, just one punch to take out Bischoff? You. And then the bell rang. Jeff Hardy was just toying the crowd, trying to throw the t-shirt and all that. Taz saying, what the hell is he doing and all that. Even I know, I was like, what the hell is he doing? And then Sting, they locked up. Sting punched him a few times. He has the Scorpion Death Drop on Jeff Hardy. 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's your main event. So what the hell happened? Seriously, what the fuck just happened? This is the main event of the pay-per-view. This is on Wikipedia, the Jeff Hardy incident. Approaching to result in the main event featuring Sting and Jeff Hardy. Sting defeating Jeff Hardy to retain the world title in 1 minute and 28 seconds the match lasted. Was cut short due to backstage concern over Jeff Hardy's well-being. After Hardy's music played, it took 40 seconds before he emerged clearly intoxicated and under influence of drugs. Then stumbles out and struggles his way into the ring. Forcing the referee Brian Hunter to give an X sign during Sting's entrance to the ring, falling in oblivious from Eric Bischoff and Hardy stumbling over a minute, teasing the crowd over whether or not he would throw his shirt. Sting hits Hardy with Scorpion Death Drop and forcefully shoot pin him to end the match in 88 seconds. Upon exiting the ring, a verbally angry Sting responded to chants from the fans who were outraged the length of the match, and at Hardy's concern, it was clear he was unfit to wrestle. Many fans chant, "That was bullshit." And as Sting walks off the ramp, he turns to them and says, "I agree, I agree." Yeah, Sting was also pissed off about this, by the way. TNA later apologized to his fans for the pay-per-view falling short of the standard and offered 6 months of free access to the TNA othermind.com library to anyone who bought the event. As a result of the fiasco that unfolded at Victory Road, Hardy was sent home from Impact tapings the following week, and subsequently ran out the next month of TNA programming. It was later responded that while Hardy was concerned fine throughout the day, it was only moments before his match that he was deemed unable to compete. Hardy has been abused in drugs and alcohol and competed at a 120-day rehab during his time away from TNA on September 8th edition of Impact. Hardy made his return and acknowledged that he hit rock bottom at Victory Road and was on a road to recovery before asking the fans for one more shot. Hardy made his return to TNA full-time by the end of September. Reading that makes me feel bad for this, really. So, yes, Jeff Hardy's demons came back to him. Also, a lot of people had a lot of demons throughout wrestling, okay? Jake Roberts was one of those examples from Heroes of Wrestling. The whole, you want to play 21, I have 22. That whole fucked up promo. or Scott Hall in WCW 98, where he was so drunk and all that, and in the whole that tasteless storyline and all that. And this is another example of an incident that went horribly wrong. I mean, what do you think this is gonna be? This is not a match, and I can't grade it, but for all the shit things I saw in wrestling, from horrifying shit I heard about, like this is one example I just don't want to talk about ever again. And all that. And Sting, the following episode of Impact, revealed a new world title because he still had that ugly ass Jeff Hardy custom made belt that Hogan gave Jeff Hardy, by the way. And Sting brought in a new design, an actual new design of the TNA World Championship, which it looks like a rip-off version of the WCW Championship, the big gold one, that is. My lord. This show was a fucking disaster. And that's mainly because of the main event. I don't know how TNA recovered after that whole thing. But, my god. This might be worse than Figure 2009. But I give it a 2.7 out of 10. If the Jeff Hardy incident never took place, it would have just get a 3 out of 10. But with the Jeff Hardy incident happened, I had to point it down to a 2.7 out of 10. I don't know how the hell they're going to recover from lockdown. We'll get to that next month, by the way, after we do Ruthless Aggression, WrestleManias, and all that. A disaster of a pay-per-view. Next week will be ECW Guilty as Charged 2001. And that's the last ECW pay-per-view they've done. And all that. I'll do my SmackDown review tomorrow, and then episode 11 of United will be the last one before Night of Glory and all that. Because, obviously all that. And there'll be one more showdown after that. Episode 120 will be that. And there's that. Like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel, notification bell, and that's also my main channel also, so you'll see my SmackDown review tomorrow, and there. Bye-bye.